Hey guys, and welcome back to another Decklist video. Today we're going to talk about my boy UlforceVeedramon, and we're going to take this starter deck and take it to the next level. Keep in mind, I will tell you when it's not a meta deck, and this is a deck that is not meta deck. However, this deck can be super explosive, and you're about to find out how. So let's get right into it, and we're gonna go ahead and start with 4 of the babies from the new starter deck of the Ulforce. We're gonna put 4 in there because while you have 8 or more cards in your hand, this Digimon gets 1000 DP, which is better than the one that we had from BT2, which is once per turn when its Digimon becomes unsuspended during your main phase, it gets 1000 per turn. The reason why I chose this one instead is because you will have that 1000 DP more frequent than if you unsuspend, because the only way you can get this 1000 DP buff is if you unsuspend, which the only way you could do that is with Ulforce, or if you have some effects that unsuspend. Moving on, we are putting in here 4 Vmons from EX1, just because when you unsuspend you do gain 1 memory, and that is the gimmick that I'm going with this build, is unsuspending, and gaining 1 memory when you unsuspend is just going to become clutch. You'll see how. So I am running 4 of those. I am running 4 of the starter deck 8 Vmon. If your opponent has a level 6 or higher Digimon in play, you can digivolve into an Ulforce for a memory cost of 4. I am running 4, so again, if you do want to follow this build that I am using, you are going to need to buy 2 starter deck UlforceVeedramon decks, because you only get 2 per deck. When attacking, if you have 7 or fewer cards in your hand, trigger draw 1, which is going to be excellent because it's a free draw when you attack. And if you do have 7 and now you're going to have 8, this will kick off, and now it's going to give you that 1000 DP, which will buff up your attacking Digimon. Another reason why I am running 4. Moving on, I am running 2 of the Dracomon. On play, reveal top 3 cards from your deck. Add 1 card with Dramon in its name among them to your hand, and then place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. So you can get any Veedramon, UlforceVeedramon, UlforceVeedramon. So this is a good kind of searcher tech card to just drop and kind of get a piece that you're missing. And then moving on, I am running 4 of the BT2 Vmon. When you unsuspend during your main phase, you trigger draw 1. So what you could do is you attack, you have 6 cards, now you activate this Vmon's effect, or the starter deck 8 Vmon. You'll basically draw 2 cards, putting you up at 8, and now you can get that 1000 DP buff with Demi Vmon up here. So that is my rookie lineup. I am running 14 rookies in total. I don't want to brick, however, it still will happen. Let's move on to my champion lineup here. We have 4 of the starter deck 8 Veedramon. When attacking, if you have 8 or more cards in your hand, return 1 of your opponent's level 3 Digimon to its owner's hand. So mind you, it does not say once per turn, and since we're gonna do this whole unsuspending and attacking and unsuspending again, you can activate this effect more than once. So it is fantastic. So you can get rid of memory blockers, you can get rid of Bokomons, you can get rid of any level 3s that are out in the field that are hurting you. And that is the reason I am playing 4. Again, you do need 2 starter decks to get 4 of these, and I am running 4 of the Sealamon blockers. So aside the fact that they're blockers, they are a 1 cost evo, and I want to get to my mega as quickly as I can. Therefore, that's why I am running 4 of these, because it is a 1 cost. You can go all the way up to an ultimate in 1 turn, even if they put you at 3 memory, and it's your first turn or your second. If you go second, you could boom go into rookie, boom go into champion for 1, boom go into ultimate for 3, and bam, there you go. Moving on, my screen did change because I did run the 2 Lobomon, but now since we got this BT7 Kumamon, it's just, this card is better. So not only as a closer for hybrid, but digivolving, you get to strip 1 card, so it's just an added effect, although you do have 4000 DP instead of 5. So you could run either Lobomon or Kumamon, and since I am running a Sora and Joe here, that kind of can help with that, kind of synergize a little bit, so I am running 2. So that is my champion lineup. I am running 10 in total. Now, before I move on into my ultimate lineup, let's talk about why I'm not using this Veedramon or this one here. And let's start off with this one here. This one states, while you have a blue Tamer in play, this Digimon gains jamming. So you attack, you gain jamming. Same thing with this Vmon here. You attack, it has jamming. You can run these if you want. I don't, just simply because I want to get to Mega pretty quick, and that's it. But if you want to run these jamming Vmons to apply more pressure, by all means you can. Again, sole reason I don't is just I'm trying to get to Mega quick, and I'm trying to give my Mega as many inherits as possible. So this Veedramon, for one, you have to have a blue Tamer in play to get jamming. And mind you, you're not always going to have Tamers, even though I do run quite a few Tamers here. However, if you attack, then there's no way to unsuspend it, and then they can easily get rid of it, and then therefore now it's going to prolong you getting into Ulforce quicker than you wanted to. So that's a reason why I do not run this Veedramon. However, you can, because there is an Air Veedramon that unsuspends your Digimon if you have a Tamer in play, which is this one here. When you Digivolve, boom, if you have a blue Tamer, unsuspend one. So there is a combo where you can attack with this Veedramon. You know, you attack, you have jamming, that's a free attack, and then you Digivolve, you go into Aero Veedramon, and then you pass turn, but you do unsuspend. However, again, for me, more than likely you're not always going to have a Tamer out. And then if you do and you Digivolve, now you're going to waste a Mega, and then what if they Gaia Force it or they swing over it? Well, they're not going to swing over it, right? But what if they Gaia Force it or something, or play Giga Storm now that it's a new card? And there goes your ultimate. And that's the only one that you had. So kind of playing more of a safer approach here. However, that is a combo, as I stated. Now this Veedramon, this secret rare from BT1, when attacking once per turn, if you have a Tamer in play, unsuspend this Digimon. So you can attack twice per turn. And then if you go into that Aero Veedramon, how I said, you can unsuspend it, therefore, you know, you being safe unless they play something like a Gaia Force. Reason I don't have this in this build is, one, as I stated for the other Veedramon, you have to make sure you have a Tamer in play. Big factor is it's 3 cost for Evo for a champion. However, the upside is you can attack twice, assuming you survive the first swing, right? So you can clear board and then unsuspend and swing if you want. But the good one here is all turns where if you have a blue Tamer in play, this Digimon gets 1000 DP. If you really want this inherit, you could just place the new Gabumon that came out, boom, here. That way it's a rookie, and you have it as an inherit as long as you have 8 cards. Again, however you feel like building this, but I'm just giving you the reasons why I'm not putting these cards in here. So moving on to my ultimate lineup is Aero Veedramon here. When Digivolving, if you have a blue Tamer in play, unsuspend one of your blue Digimon. I'm not really using it for this effect, however it is a good effect. The reason that I'm using him is because when this Digimon becomes unsuspended during your main phase, it gains jamming. And as you know, Ulforce, at least the first Ulforce that we got, he's only 11,000 DP. So if you get jamming, that's fantastic. And then next, I am running, I'm trying to keep my cards hidden still. I am running 4 of the Aero Veedramon starter deck 8s. You have jamming when you attack, so that's a given. So that's good. If you want to swing and then you want to end game with a hybrid Digivolve on top of a Tamer, you could do that. But if you have 8 or more cards in your hand, this Digimon gains security attack +1, which is insane, just because of the amount of times that you can unsuspend in this deck build with Ulforce, and you're gonna see shortly why. So I run 4, plain and simple. And then moving on, I am running 4 of the BT2 Ulforce Veedramon. I still think that this one is way better than the other Ulforce, which I have here, and the other promo that we got in a tournament. So this one reads, when one of your blue Tamers becomes suspended, unsuspend this Digimon. Mind you, it does not say once per turn like this one does, right? When attacking once per turn, you can unsuspend. This one's unlimited, so long as you have Tamers that can unsuspend. Then you have once per turn when this Digimon becomes unsuspended during your main phase, you gain 1 memory. So now, if you're able to unsuspend, get 1 memory, you have this Vmon down here, you gain another memory, you're gaining 2 when you swing, and that 2 memory can give you an extra swing. I'll tell you how. I am playing 2 of the new Ulforce from starter deck 8. When digivolving, returning one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon to its owner hand, then trash the rest of the cards. Good to get rid of hybrids off the field, and you get rid of Tamers, obviously, if they have a hybrid underneath. When attacking once per turn, if you have 8 or more cards in your hand, unsuspend this Digimon. The downside, yes, you can unsuspend, but however, you can only do it once. Unlike my boy here, you can unsuspend an unlimited number of times, so long as you have the blue Tamers to suspend, so he can unsuspend. He's beautiful. That's all I can say. So I am running 2. Now you could run SlayerDramon, you could run any other megas you want. I am keeping consistent here with Veedramon, with UlforceVeedramon, so I'm sticking to these 2. Reason I don't use this one is you may place 3 non-Digiects from your trash to the bottom of your deck in order to unsuspend one of your Tamers. When a card is returned from your trash, gain 1 memory. So this one states that, you know, if you do his effect while he does Digivolve, you do unsuspend. However, that's a when Digivolving. So that means you would have to attack with the Arrow Veedramon, survive, and then Digivolve, use his effect, and then he unsuspends. So it's too much, and then it's a 4 cost. Again, the BT7 is a 3 cost, which is so much better. Moving on, I am running 2 of the Blitz Omnis just because game ender. That's it. Game ender. You swing, you Digivolve into Omni, you unsuspend, and then he has Blitz, so even if it passes turn, you do swing. However, really good effect here is all turns if your opponent's effect will delete this Digimon return it to its owner's hand or deck, you may prevent it from leaving play by trashing a level 6 Digimon card in its Digivolution cards. There will come a time where you take all the security cards away from, you know, your opponent, you go into the Omni and you still, you know, you need that 1 more swing, and they have something like Gaia Force in their hand or Wyvern's Breath or Iron Fisted Onslaught, and they can play it, sure, they can play it, but now you just trash your Ulforce underneath and your Omnimon is safe. Therefore, next turn you just go ahead and swing, and if they know that, they're not going to play it because that's going to end their turn. So amazing Omnimon. So now let's move on into these Tamers. Man, these are nice. So we have 3 Rinas. And if you don't know who Rina is, she did appear in Cyber Sleuth with Ulforce, so that's kind of why, you know, this card goes with Ulforce. So it's a 3 cost. When one of your blue Digimon attacks, you may suspend this Tamer to give that Digimon 1000 DP for the turn. So now you have Rina, you swing with Ulforce, you tap Rina. Now your Ulforce is going to go to 12 or 13 if you have the other one, but in this case we're focusing on this one here. So now you tap Rina, he goes to 12, he unsuspends, you get 1 memory or 2 if you have the other Vmon, the EX1, and now you unsuspend again and then you attack again. The second one here is on play, reveal 3 cards from the top of your deck, add 1 Digimon with V in its name among them to your hand. So this Rina is fantastic for searching your deck, and another reason why I'm sticking with the whole UlforceVeedramon lineup is so I can search and get what I need, just because, you know, it says it has to have Vmon in it, so you can get any card as long as it has V underneath, right, which is kind of majority of my deck besides Sealamon, Kumamon, and Dracomon. So I am running 3. Moving on, I am running 3 of these V-Tamer Kais. Taikamiya. Main phase, if you have a Digimon with Veedramon in its name, you may suspend this Tamer to activate one of the following effects. Trigger, draw 1, or one of your Digimon gets 1000 DP for the turn. So if by chance your Ulforce already has jamming from this UlforceVeedramon, since you're gonna unsuspend, then the damage doesn't really matter. You're just gonna go ahead and trigger that draw 1 to help you cycle and go through your deck and get more pieces that you need. Not only that, that's gonna keep you at over 8 cards, therefore giving you an extra security attack +1, allowing you to put back a level 3 on the field back to their hand, and that's it. So you'll still, oh, and I guess 1000 DP from Demivimon. So I am running 3. So now remember when I said that 2 memory that you gain can win you the game, or it will become clutch or give you an extra swing? This is what I meant. You have Arena and you have UlforceVeedramon. You swing with UlforceVeedramon, you tap Arena, you unsuspend, you get 1 memory from UlforceVeedramon, you get the other memory from Vmon here. Now you get 2 memory. So from 0 you go to 2 because you just digivolve into that UlforceVeedramon for 3. Now you can play tie for 2 because you have 2 memory, and now you can swing again and you can tap tie, give you an extra swing, and you can either draw or give that extra 1000 damage, and there you go. So that's a really great, fantastic combo that I did end up doing, which I will probably put up, I will put up videos on me using this deck. And anyway, moving on, we are running 3 of the Sora and Joe, just because this is another Tamer that suspends when you attack, and that's what you want here. So that is the reason I am not playing Davis. I know what you're saying.
But what about memory? Well, they can memory choke you.
Yes, of course they can. They can memory choke you, but I mean, chances are, what if I don't draw Davis anyway? I would need 4. And even then, 4 out of 50 cards is pretty slim. Yes, Davis helps you search for 1, but so does Rena, so does Dracomon, and of course, so does Tai. You just draw a card. So there's other ways around that. And this one, you know, it can suspend, you unsuspend your UlforceVeedramon, you do strip, and then if they have one that has nothing underneath, then you get 2 memories. So it's kind of compensating for not having a memory set Tamer. They would have to play around it. But again, I'm playing 3 of the Sora and Joe more for the suspend and be able to unsuspend your UlforceVeedramon. So now, if you have these 3 Tamers, that's 4 attacks in total. So you digivolve, boom, swing, tap, unsuspend, tap again, swing, untap, swing, tap. You get the idea here. So it's disgusting. And then at the end of it, if you swing for 4 or even 5, if you have 2 ties, 3 ties, and you can just go into Omni and swing for game. And then last, I do have an Ice Wall, pretty straightforward. If you need 1 more turn, if you gotta survive that 1 last turn, just play this Ice Wall, and then when they attack, they lose 2 memory, they don't gain it. So, or you don't gain it. So obviously Gazimon or Midoki can't, you know, stop this card unless they hit it in your security, because then you're gaining 2 memory. And that's another way too. If they hit it and it's in your security, then you gain 2 memory. So it's a good card. Obviously 1 because it is limited to 1 here. If you do want to make this build, I do recommend you get the UlforceVeedramon deck, which is now 10 bucks. I know it's kind of common to find now, but in case, you know, in your locals you can't find it or whatever the case is, I will link this down below to go ahead and help you so you can get started. Also, they do have Gallimon, which is a little cheaper than the UlforceVeedramon by a quarter or something, 10-20 cents. And there you go. I will just link them down below. That's just for you if you do want to pick them up. I know there's a lot of people that are picking up this game now. I think UlforceVeedramon is better than Gallantmon, and I did make a decklist video of that I will link up right here. Reason why I think this is better is because with Gallantmon, you have all those checks. So let's say you have security attack +3, +4 with tie, or even +5. You swing, they block it, you're done. That's it, right? When you unsuspend, it's a whole new attack. So you're able to kind of diversify your attacks. Let's say, okay, they have 2 Digimons, and then I'm going to swing at 1, unsuspend, and now I'm going to go for the security. Unsuspend, let me go back to the over here. Unsuspend, let me go back over here. You get what I'm saying. So you're able to kind of split up your security attacks, so to say. And that's why I believe UlforceVeedramon is better than you know, Gallantmon or, you know, any other Digimon that gives you security attack plus, just because when you swing, they block it. There go all your security attacks unless you have piercing. And then, yeah, that's pretty much my little spiel on why I think Ulforce right now is better than Gallantmon. So here you go. This is my full deck list. I know I kind of ran on a little rant here, but there's a lot of information to cover here, and make sure you are subscribed so you can see how I'm using these decks and how spicy and beautiful these are. So there we go. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys on the next one.